5 seconds.
Alright, so I'm gonna go to the Jones game. Ogre 5 as requested.
Prepare for battle. I assure you that this one is in
Starting items. It's okay, I guess. So what do you have here? You have Abaddon ES or probably Abaddon ES. Maybe ES Veno? Okay, nothing much.
30 seconds to
go
battle.
for this rune to go for the first blood, which I think is fine because I don't think even Lycan can take it off ES. Set up.
we get the good stuff.
I like that you walk back here and
Once
then
we're in
TP.
agreement.
Give your Lycan some EXP. That's good. Okay, it's pretty bad block from the Lycan. Apart from that, everything's okay here. Okay. I feel like you should just use your W, right? Why are you not using it?
It's looking spicy.
I mean, this is a really easy lane for you. The Abba. The only problem is the Abba can take out your W. It's okay. I don't like that play. I think at your level, to win the lane, you have to be more heads up, especially about the range creep. This range creep's about to die. I think you can just run up and hit it, because I don't think this ES can do anything to you so far, and you also have the W. Abaddon's already used his shield, so this is fine. It's fine to go for this, and you do have the wolves as well, so it's not a bad play. But I mean, I'm not sure what you're trying to do here. Are you trying to last hit the creep with your fireball, or what? You're just gonna make it easy for the last hit. That would have been level 2, I think, for both of you. A bit weird. Apart from that, it's okay. Okay, you're trying to block this pool. You have to hit him. Oh, this is so bad, dude. This is gonna go through, right? Yeah, there's no way you can aggro this in time. Okay, this is just basic aggroing. This is so huge because this is what do you call it? The Hellbear. Yeah, it's the Hellbear. You can't give him the Hellbear. You can't let the lane push out with the Hellbear. So what you need to do here is you need to know how to de-aggro properly, right? So the way you do it is you have to keep clicking him. Okay, right here. I'll show you. So right here, you understand what's going on. So you go for him. You know that if you start hitting him, this creeps will aggro you, which is fine. Your biggest problem was you ran back here, which gives him the chance to aggro it back. So what you have to do is you have to run forward. You have to keep running forward and be in the path of the block. You can't do this, and then if he's good enough, right? Because it's divine level. If this was like Archon or Legend, I don't think he gets this pull off. But he's good enough to come back for it. And at this point, this is just bad play from just bad understanding of pool mechanics. And this could easily lose you the lane. And this would have set you back quite a bit because I think he would get at least 2 creeps with the range, right? And all of that would be denied because it's a Hellbear. Yep, so he gets 2 creeps. Now he's gonna zone you out. This guy's gonna zone you out because he's got nothing to fight there. Right? The creeps should all be here right now, and Lycan should be safely forming. Instead, now you're taking damage because you're trying to stop this pull, which is at this point is too late, right?
Just drowned.
So once you've already made this mistake, what you have to do is you have to sit with the creeps because you need to stay in EXP range. So as a support player, what you want to do always is if no one's in the EXP range, if your core is not in EXP range, you should always be in EXP range. If you can, obviously. Like here, instead of running up here and getting hit by the Abaddon, just stay down here, right? So he's got the pull off, that's fine. He's got the pull off, you can't stop it anymore here, unless you aggro here, but it's too late. So now that you know he's got this, just walk right, man. Just walk right. Why would you go up? There's no point to go up. You go up, you run into the Abaddon, nothing happens. You just lose, you just get zoned out, right? So you go up here. If you're down here on the right, ES can't hit you because you have your W. So if he runs at you, you just run back. Or you can just hit him with your 7 armor. That's also fine. But then what you want to be is in EXP range. By doing this, you go out of EXP range. Lycan is out of EXP range, and you're both losing XP for no reason. So I think what you need to understand is what type of matchup you got, right? You got 2 melees, which is perfect for Ogre. Ogre loves fighting melee heroes. What you can do to both of them is kite them. And that's the main thing. So this itemization, I don't know. I feel like a Windlace would do better, or Brutes. You know why, I don't have to explain to you. Basically move speed is king on this lane, right? Because that's how you kite. Now, what's happened here is because you didn't stop that pull, the lane goes huge for the other way. It goes huge the other way, right? Because now the lane's pushed down, the creeps will connect here, and they can farm freely here, or they fight you here until the creeps go down. And you're gonna lose this.
Radiant's top tower is on the
Yeah, your Lycan ends up losing 2 of these creeps. This range creep will eventually go down as well, but you might come back. Okay, so you got the range, but then you lose 2 creeps for no reason, and the lane's pushed. And all this is because you just don't understand how to aggro or de-aggro properly. And that might be the difference between the game. Like you might have won the game just from that. So let me pull up some music. Okay, I like this pull. So you cut this tree and you pull further there. I didn't even know you could do that. This is so cool. Okay, so this guy runs at you. This should tell you that he either has a ward or he knows this is happening. Late on the W, but it's fine. Okay, so from here, right, you got creeps everywhere, lanes pushed. What's your play here? Okay, so you look around. You want to give Lycan this lane, so you go down. You go for this power rune. Okay, so you looked for the ward, which is nice. Okay, this is a little thing, I guess. Sentries, right? Sentries. You put this sentry down like an observer. There's really no point. Just put it in the middle, right? Because why would you put a sentry here? Because there's no way there's going to be a ward right here, right? So what is the point of putting a sentry that comes down on this circle? Because there's no way there's going to be wards here. Just put a sentry in the middle. You would have found this ward, which is up here somewhere. There's a ward up here somewhere, and you would have found it if you just put sentry down the middle like a normal person. Instead, you sentry here, which is like, I think it's just like you know it's not correct. It's just you just never thought about it, right? So this sentry should be in the middle. Like you want to cover, obviously, you want to cover as much space as you can with the sentry to find the observer. Doing this is just hiding your sentry. There's no point to hide a sentry. Okay, so you go for the rune. Nice, the ES came as well, so you're gonna get this. Nice, perfect. It's a really good play. Okay, this was not though. So I see what you're doing. You got the haste, you know ES is not here. And then you see that this Lycan is fighting this Abaddon and you can kill this Lycan. This Abaddon, sorry. I would say this is the incorrect play for very not so obvious reasons. For one, you see the Earthshaker here. He's got boots, and that's it. I don't know if you've checked his item that this is all he has. That means he's got no stats, right? He can't man up. You've got haste. What you should do right now is because Lycan's free farming, like Lycan against Abaddon. So Okay, the easiest way to think about it is that you gotta think. So, what happens when they're 1v1, right? What happens when there's an Earthshaker and Abaddon? How does your Lycan lane compared to just one hero, you know, one Abaddon? And if you understand the game enough, you can tell that Abaddon can't do anything to Lycan, right? There's no point to come back to this lane at this point, because Lycan will freeform. And that's all you want. As a support, all you want is for your core to freeform. If you get all the XP, that's perfect, and then you just do whatever you have to do apart from that. Now, you've got the haste here. You have two choices, right? You have three choices. You have one, which is to gank mid, which is not a bad call, actually. It probably dies here if you gank mid. Two, you go for this gank on an Abaddon, which is obviously very unlikely to work. Or the third one is you run at this Earthshaker. Right, so what's the best thing to do here? Lycan's free farming. He's getting full XP. The moment you jump there, you force him to stop farming, and then he also doesn't get full XP. And what happens is the Earthshaker will TP in, and then this gank is completely useless. However, if you got this haste and you ran at this Earthshaker, what is he gonna do? He'll have to run mid, right? You'll force him to go back. If he starts going this way, and then you catch him here with your haste, running up here, he's dead. Or if he's not dead, he can't do anything for a while. One, his stun is down, which makes him completely useless. He doesn't have a stun, he's got only W. So as he's moving up here, at this point, you have vision, you see him running up. This is the time where you make the decision, okay, I'm going back for the Earthshaker. Because the moment you go back for this Earthshaker here, this Earthshaker is fucked. Right? He can't lane, he doesn't have potions, he doesn't have mana, he has mana potion, he doesn't have any health regen, he doesn't have his skill, and the only thing he can do is TP out. Now, if you hold your Q, you can wait for him to TP, and then use your Q as well. So the perfect play here would have been pick up this haste, wait for him to walk a bit, and then run up here, use your W on him, and just start hitting him, right? You have haste, and what's he gonna do? His W doesn't stun, he doesn't have Fissure. Most likely, he's dead. He's actually dead. If you hold your stun until he TPs, he's probably dead. If you don't hold your stun and he TPs, he has to TP home. That leaves your Lycan with a free lane with the Abaddon again. And then you can go back to mid and gank mid or whatever, but then this ES is stuck regardless, right? The moment you make this play, make this decision, which is probably the worst decision, your Lycan has to stop farming, which I expect would be something that would happen. So yeah. Come in, you got the haste. Q, W, Earthshaker's just gonna TP. Be smart. Or not. Okay, so he just walked over. I mean, that's even worse, right? That means like your gank wasn't even close. Like he was never gonna die, and I think Lycan realizes that. That's why he went back for the creeps instead of fighting. So yeah, I mean that is. It makes so much different, you know, just little decision making, and that probably would have changed the game, because then Lycan would be 5, Abaddon would probably stay at 3 because Lycan will outfarm him, Earthshaker will be dead or at home, and then you can still roam freely. But the moment you've decided to come back to this lane, this Earthshaker has the easiest, you know, decision of just coming back to this lane, and now that it's 2v2 again, no one can kill each other because of this disable. So when you play support, you gotta think, what is the best thing I can do for my carry, right? And the best thing for your carry here is for him to go 1v1 against the Abaddon. Well, how do you do that? You gank mid, you gank bot, you force rotation. The moment ES TPs, this lane is GG, right? Because this guy can farm till he's 6, he'll hit 6 before Abaddon, they can chase him down and Abaddon's dead before he hits 6. By doing this and coming back to this lane, Abba can catch up. Lycan will be farming a bit less, and then this ES will get EXP that he should have. So just keep in mind, like, what you want from your team, what you want from your cores, what you want them to do, and what they probably want to do, right? So you go back for this pool, of course, which is fine. Block the bot a bit. Okay, bot's fine. You got the kill. You see now? You see the problem with your play. I mean, like, on hindsight, it's not a problem, right? For divines, it's not a problem. Once you get to, like, a higher level, and the level that you want to be, you have to realize that this was caused from you. Because 2v2, it's a close fight. Lycan cannot CS under ES and ABBA. But if it's ABBA, only ABBA and Lycan, then it's fine, right? He can just man up. The silence doesn't do anything to the Lycan. He can just keep hitting. So by bringing the ES back to lane, by coming back, so your thought process, I have to come back and support my lane. However, the moment you do that, the ES comes back, and you actually make it harder for the Lycan to farm, right? And then he dies. And this would never happen. All you had to do was pick up that haste and run at that ES, and this would have never happened. I think it's pretty clear, honestly. Like, if you think about it, it's pretty obvious. And I think that might be the difference between a won and a lost game, honestly. Come down, get this bounty.
The prize is mine.
You're gonna get it. Nice.
Mine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, so at this point, it's getting pretty hard. You've walked around a lot. Your good play was walking mid. Your bad play was literally everything else. I'd say it's pretty simple by now to understand what happened. When you're in a lane, like a Lycan ogre lane, or any other lane for that matter, you have to think about how this matchup works, this fight, and these two, right? So let's say you're 2v2, you're Lycan ogre against ABBA ES, right? You have to think, okay, 2-on-2, who wins? 1v2, who wins? And 1v2 the other way, who wins, right? And 1v1, who wins? Now, if you think about it, 2v2, you most likely lose because they have too much control. The Abaddon can stop your W. There's just too much going on. 1v1, you against ES, perfect. You against ES, you will shit on him. ABBA against Lycan, Lycan will shit on him. Right? So what you want to do, if you can understand and acknowledge this in your head and use it properly, is that you want to split them up, right? You want Abaddon to be 1v1 with the Lycan, while you're 1v1 with the ES. How do you do that? You do pulls and you drag the ES away from the lane as much as you can. If he comes to you, you W, you hit, you run at him, right? If you keep running at ES, ES can't go in and support the Lycan. Support the Abaddon, sorry. And then the Lycan will have a free lane against the Abaddon. And that's literally the difference between a won and a lost lane. And you've lost this lane because you've gone into this understanding where you wanna keep your lane close to you, right? And you wanna pull, you wanna stack, you wanna pull, you wanna stop pulls, and you wanna jiggle around this. But sometimes, well, it's not sometimes. Honestly, it's just that you're just so much better than you used to be now. That I can teach you this stuff, which is stuff I wouldn't have taught you before, because this is stuff that you need to understand, that it's more than just keeping a lane equilibrium or trying to hold the lane, you know, in a traditional way. You've come to a point where you're moving from divine and trying to hit immortal, and at this point you need to start understanding other stuff like proper matchups and how you want to manipulate this lane. And I can answer this right now, and the pros will probably say the same thing, is you want to split them up. You want to split the ES up to fight you, you want to split the Abaddon to fight the Lycan. The moment you go pull, the Lycan will be fighting Abaddon and ES, and he loses that fight. And if you're 2v2, it's a tie, but if you're 1v1 against 1v1, you both win. And if you can think like this when you play support, and like use it properly to win divine games, you will hit immortal. And because mechanically you can hit immortal already, like mechanics not the problem, it's just decision making. if both you and ES go to collect the rune like you did just now, the best thing you can do is keep running at ES. Right? And that's what I'm trying to say. You don't have to like completely force them to away from each other, but what you want to do is you want to capitalize when they are not together and use that time to get the Lycan out. Right? You can do that by even TPing bot. If you understand that the ES went top, like right now, you understand that the ES went home, right? Because he nearly died. They dove your Lycan died. Most likely ES goes home to give the Abaddon fully XP. And at this point, he has a decision to make. The fuck? Interesting. Okay, I can't press. I can't press enter. Okay, so he dies here. As we said, mostly because he's 2v1.
The prize is mine.
Okay, I'm just gonna fast forward now because I think after that, then the game's just harder for no reason. Like it's level 5, fighting. Okay, so like we say here, right? 2v2. This is like even if it's level 5, this is not a good fight for you. You don't want to be in this fight.
Bottom is missing.
I mean that's pretty much it, right? And then you lose the lane. And the game's kind of over. He's not 6 yet. I can get skanked. Okay, I'll end it there. I think the laning stage is. I mean, it pretty much tells the whole story. So just notes for you. Just try to figure out the matchup. All right, you played support as a divine player correctly, but you did not play with the heroes that you have correctly. That's basically it. And that's usually the difference between winning or losing a game, and that's the difference between divine and immortal players, because I feel like divine players have this mentality that you understand the game this much and you always hold to it. And then to hit immortal, you have to realize that you have to break away from these norms and try to find ways to adjust to certain heroes and certain matchups to the best of your ability. And you didn't do it this game, and Lycan lost the lane. Well, not because of you, but Lycan lost the lane when he could have won the lane because of you. Let's just say it that way. He could have won the lane because of you. But it's not your fault that he lost the lane. And I think most divine games can say it almost the same thing. It's just, it's not someone's fault in general. It's just someone could have done something better to win the game. And that's the difference between a good and a bad position 5. Yeah? Well, not a good and a bad, but a divine and immortal position 5. So yeah, there you go, John. GG's.